Welcome back to Doodling with Purpose, and if you're a new student, or you're an old student, or you're just a student in general, you're in the perfect place to be learning Egyptian hieroglyphs as we go week by week, digging deep into this ancient language. Alright, so first up today, we are going to continue looking at the phonetic pronunciation of the single consonants, and today we're at I. And the phonetic way to write I is to write the letter I with a little diagonal line across it. And this indicates that it is pronounced like machine, not eyes. E, like machine. So the way to draw this in Egyptian is to draw a papyrus reed. And again, as I've noted a few times, most of the hieroglyphs are things that Egyptians just found in daily life because they drew what they saw. So if you're thinking that's a feather, it kind of looks like a feather, but no, it's a reed. It's meant to be a reed like this, a papyrus reed, something that they would come across every day. Not that they wouldn't come across feathers, but hey, we already have a lot of ducks and geese and fowl. Actually, speaking of all of the fowl, you actually will encounter a lot of reeds and flowers if you haven't been in this class before, so be warned on that. The reed is pretty easy to draw. It's a 3-stroke glyph, starting with the curved line down, straight line down, and then that third curved line connecting it. Fun to draw. A lot of fun to draw this one. All right, so here's our first word. So we have the reed, we have the foot, we have a man who is touching his face, and then we have the 3 water strokes. It's read the same way you would read any glyph, reading into the faces of people or animals. Now what's interesting is we have 2 determinatives here. We have the man, and then we have the 3 water strokes. Anytime you see a person, a full-bodied person at the end, it's a determinative. Now if that determinative is followed by another glyph, it makes that glyph also a determinative, because a sound glyph can't follow a determinative. Now I know the 3 water signs could be MW, mua, but in this case, because it's after the main determinative, we're not going to pronounce it MW. We're just going to assume it's there to help jog our memory of what we're reading. So the word is read Ebe. Again, like the I is like machine, E, so Ebe, not I, like ice. And this means thirsty. So you could see how the 2 determinatives, first we have a man touching his lips, so it's probably something to eat, and then water, thirsty. All right, here's another Ebe. We have the same 2 consonants followed by a different determinative. Although this determinative, and you've seen this before if you've been in the first half of the class, is also an ideogram, meaning it is a drawing that is actually pronounced and is what it represents. So this is represented Ib, I-B. It is the human heart, which comes a lot in ancient Egypt. So interesting here, same as the last word we did, and here, because of the determinative of Ib, you could pronounce it Eb, Eb. But anytime you have the same sound following a previous sound, it's just there to remind you. So there's a lot of different ways of writing Ebe here. We could have Ebe like the human heart at the top. That's just an ideogram. We could have Ebe followed by a human heart to tell you that this is the word heart. Or we could have a man touching his lips, meaning thirsty. Although you could also add the water sign after that as a second determinative, like we had in the first example. It's all pronounced Ebe, but the determinative at the end changes the meaning. And that's why ancient Egyptian is not as hard as people think, because there's constantly reminders to help jog your memory of sounds and meanings to the word. That's what determinatives are. So while all 3 of these are pronounced Ebe, they have 3 different meanings based on the determinative that's put at the end of the consonants. It's all there to be a hint and to help you, so take